When we open up to creativity, we open to God, to source, to the universe, to the light, to whatever word resonates for your spiritual practice. Because in that state of creation, we surrender control. Welcome to Collective Guidance with your host, Charla Goodnight. This is a space where we come together to share wisdom, stories, and insights from thought leaders and everyday humans alike. Here, you'll find conversations on spirituality, health, wellness, parenting, and the human experience, all designed to remind you that you are not alone and that we are all connected. Let's step into the guidance we can only find together. Welcome to Collective Guidance. I'm your host, Charla Goodnight. I am so grateful to have you here, taking this time for yourself to slow down, to breathe, and reconnect with your soul. Today's episode is one that feels like it's coming straight from the heart. It's called Voice of the Wild Soul: Creativity, Play, and the Divine. We're going to explore what it means to live as a creative being, not just as a sense of art or music or writing, but as a spiritual act, because all art and creativity is a spiritual act. Creativity is a language of the soul. It's how the divine moves through us. I remember when I was younger, I used to think that creativity was something other people had, the artists, the dancers, the painters, the poets, the one who could sing and move their body, write the songs that made your heart crack open. I remember my cousin was this phenomenal ballet dancer, and the way that she would move, just I knew that she was embodying spirit in every way. And I longed for that for myself, but I didn't really feel like I was creative. But the more I've lived, the more I realize creativity is not about talent. It's about connection. It's about listening to that quiet, untamed voice inside you, the one that often is buried beneath schedules, responsibilities, and noise of the daily life where we get caught up. It's that voice, that wild, free, innocent, childlike voice. It's your soul speaking. And when we create, when we move, paint, sing, garden, dance in the kitchen. I love dancing in the kitchen so much. Decorate a room or even put together a beautiful meal and serve it to the ones that we love. We are giving our soul a voice, a microphone. We are saying, I am here. I am alive. I am a vessel for something greater than myself. I am sharing my soul through this creative act. I've always believed that creativity is one of the most direct ways we connect to the divine. Why I feel that is because watching my cousin dance at an early age and just having this complete admiration for her, to listening to a song and getting chills and knowing that those words were written by someone. They were downloaded from the divine. It's that sacred interface where humans meet the holy within, right? Where we stop trying to be perfect and start allowing ourselves to be present. Really, when I discovered that creativity was when my oldest son said he wanted to go into music. And I could see the desire in him. And I bought him his first mixer and his first software. And I saw the divine in him. And then from there, he started painting, and I could see the divine in him and I could feel it. And then I started painting and I was like, oh my gosh, wait a second. This is not that good. And then I was like, no, this is part of the creative act. This creativity is where we stop trying to be perfect and start allowing ourselves to just be present. When we think about it, the creation is how the universe expresses itself. So there's no like, am I getting it right or wrong? It is the creative act and spirit coming together. When I go outside and I see every tree, when I go to the beach and I see the ocean and every sunset or sunrise, it's all a masterpiece in motion. It's creativity. It is life. And we are part of that same creative pulse. I firmly believe the divine didn't create us to simply survive. We were created to co create, to take time to be part of the ongoing of beauty, meaning, expression. I know for me that every time I allow myself to play, to imagine, to try something new, I am I am engaging in the spiritual act of remembering who I really am, this joy. And it is the same for all of us. When we take the time to really get in our creativity and play and enjoy and try something new, when we try something new, the universe is like, yes, she is having fun. And I know this because there's been a time in my life when I stopped playing. I got so focused on responsibility, on being a mom, being a business owner, showing up for everyone else, that I forgot the simple joy of creating for no reason. And I thought that I had to keep creating for a reason, to keep the business sustained. And I forgot that there doesn't have to be an outcome to the creation. There doesn't have to be a goal. Just doing it for the feeling of it, for the act of it. And that moment dawned on me one day when I was sitting outside and I was just feeling super disconnected. And I started looking around in my backyard at this little swampy area that had tons of trees and birds flying in it. And I remembered that all of that is part of creation. All of that is a creative act from the universe. I remember I was praying for guidance, asking the universe to help me feel inspired again. And I got this little whisper that came through so clearly that said, Charla, go play, go be the little kid that you are within. It was so simple and so radical because play at the time felt almost like irresponsible. Like I don't have time for play. But that day, I turned on some music. I made a delicious vegan meal because I was vegan at the time. And I danced in the kitchen and I called up some friends. I wasn't drinking at the time. So that was really good too, because it was really authentic. And I danced in the kitchen and I started to feel something come alive again in me. That spark, that creative pulse. It's the same energy that fuels our spiritual life. See, the soul thrives on freedom. The soul does not want to feel constraint and like it doesn't have space to move about. When we allow ourselves to play, we make space for the divine to move through us. We drop out of the mind and back into the heart, and the heart knows what is real. You know that feeling when you lose track of time doing something you love? That's the flow. The heart wants the flow. The heart wants you to lose track of time. That's divine alignment. That's you stepping out of linear, logical, structured reality and into the timelessness of creation itself. And when we do that, when we step out of that linear, that's when all the miracles happen. That is when we really are able to start seeing the miracles in our life because we're aligned with joy. We're having fun. We're playing. It's a creative act. That's where insights come through, where true healing occurs because we realize we are no longer our past and where we connect to our inner child, the most pure, untamed part of us that never stopped believing in magic. That inner child for me is my 8-year-old self that just had like a lot of spunk and just loved to laugh and be silly. So my wish for you is that you take a moment right now, if you can, and just place your hand over your heart. Breathe in deeply. Ask yourself, when was the last time I let myself create? Just for the joy of it. No judgment, no agenda. And maybe it's been a while. Maybe you used to write, paint, sing, or build things, and life just got busy. That's okay. We all get busy. We all forget. This is about remembrance. I want you to know, though, your wild soul, they haven't gone anywhere. They're waiting patiently for you to come back and play. They say, bring it on. How are you going to play today? Let's do it. When we open up to creativity, we open to God, to source, to the universe, to the light, to whatever word resonates for your spiritual practice. Because in that state of creation, we surrender control. We surrender judgment, right? I know for me, um, I like painting. I like cooking sometimes, not so much lately because my youngest is doing a lot of the cooking because he's really enjoying it and I'm enjoying it. But when we do these acts and we fully surrender control and not think that it has to be perfect, we allow something greater to move through us. We experience this connection. I was just listening to Madonna on Jay Shetty's podcast, and she said when she's connected to spirit, to light, all of her creativity came through spirit and light. It doesn't belong to her. It belongs to source, to God, to light, whatever you want to call it. It wasn't her, it was through her that spirit brought it. The same way spirit moves us in prayer, meditation, or nature, creativity is another doorway to connect with spirit. So whether it's a brush, a pen, a recipe, or a vision board, it's not about what you create. It's about who you are becoming in the process of that creation. You become a conduit of light, a mirror of the divine expressing itself through your hands. So if you've been feeling disconnected lately, and I know the world seems like it's going mad, and I know a lot of people are feeling disconnected. So if you are lately, I invite you to do something this week. One thing, activate your creative spirit. Maybe that's turning on your favorite song and dancing with your kids or yourself, or having some friends over and dancing. I love having friends over and dancing, sketching or journaling without editing, no editing on it, just doing it. Cooking a meal and plating it like art. I like to clean up my plate, with a napkin before I serve it so it looks really beautiful. Arranging flowers. I love having flowers in my house and putting them throughout my house. Decorating your space or creating a vision board. Make a vision board. That's something really creative. And taking a walk and noticing the colors and textures of nature. The point isn't perfection. It's about permission. Permission to be curious, messy. Get messy with it. Inspired, alive. Because the divine doesn't speak in straight lines. It speaks in color, rhythm, and most importantly, intuition. Colette Baron-Reid just came out with a new book called The Art of Manifesting. And I've been listening to it and practicing it. And it's a really great book for creativity and manifesting through creativity. So just to close this up, creativity is the practice of remembering that you're a creator too. Play is how your soul comes alive and breathes and feels ecstatic. So the next time you feel disconnected from spirit, don't overthink it. Don't go searching for perfect meditation or the next big answer. Instead, go create something. Go play. Go be with your wild soul, the one who knows that joy, laughter, and imagination are sacred acts of devotion. There is nothing more that your soul wants than joy, laughter, and imagination. Because when you do, you'll remember that the divine isn't somewhere out there. It's right here with you, pulsing your heart, your hands, your breath, your voice. It's the voice of your wild soul calling you home. It is calling you home. So why not go? Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If this episode spoke to you in any way, I'd love for you to share it with someone who might need to reconnect with their creative spark too. And if you like this episode, please give it a review, subscribe. And as always, I am in immense gratitude to walk this path with you, this journey of remembering, reconnecting, and rising together. Until next time, keep listening to your wild soul, babe. She knows the way. Thank you for joining me today on Collective Guidance. I hope you feel lighter, more inspired, and deeply connected to your own path. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Collective Guidance or our website, collectiveguidance.com. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with a friend and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Until next time, may you walk with clarity, courage, joy, and love.